The Grand Bahamas Health Services welcoming a special visitor. School board members taking the oath of office. And consider giving a furry gift this Christmas.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, Grand Bahama welcoming a special guest to the island today. The Grand Bahama Health Service is hosting the 19th annual Governor General's visit, bringing together a cross-sector of the community. Sabrina Brown reports.
Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling arrived at the Rand Memorial Hospital to a royal welcome. Her annual visit presenting the opportunity for Her Excellency to say thank you to healthcare workers and to commend them for their invaluable service to the community.
I continue to be impressed by the good reports which come regarding the high quality of service which the devoted staff of these facilities provide so selflessly. Your service to the Grand Bahama community and the islands nearby is indeed commendable.
The Governor General also came bearing a message of love and goodwill during this Yuletide season.
As we exchange greetings and engage in celebrations, I trust that we will, as a people, be ever mindful of the love which came to us through the birth of our Savior, and do all that we can to spread that love across our community, in our families and friends, and covering all with whom we come in contact.
A high point of 2017 for the Grand Bahama Health Services was the expansion and upgrade of the West End Clinic. Acting Minister of Health, the Honorable Michael Pintard, reassuring residents that a modern primary and outpatient care facility is on the horizon for Grand Bahama.
With the construction of the 62,000 square feet healthcare center, the people of Freeport will have a modern health facility that will provide adequate space for residents to conveniently access general practice, specialty, and family clinics, maternal and child health, mental health, and adolescent health facility.
The minister noted other upgrades to the healthcare system on the island this year.
I'm pleased to advise that the physiotherapy department has introduced 2 new services. Dry needling is used for pain management, and for the first time on Grand Bahama, the lymphatic drainage is available for patients diagnosed with cancer. This is very beneficial for cancer patients, as previously they had to leave the island to receive service.
Health partners were honored for their contributions to the Grand Bahama Health Services. The Governor General's visit ended with a tour of the various wards at the Rand Memorial Hospital. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Minister of Stage 4 Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, also commending local healthcare workers for the vital role they play in the Grand Bahama community.
Our main goal really here in Grand Bahama was the economic revitalization of Grand Bahama. And the Ministry of Health plays a very important role in that. Not just because we want to have investment and because we may want to have boutique health facilities and so on. That's a part of it. But the role that you play in taking care of Grand Bahamians. If we didn't have our health, then we wouldn't have our wealth.
In other news, newly elected school board members taking the oath of office last night during a swearing-in ceremony at the St. George's Gym. The group committing to assist with the day-to-day maintenance of public schools. Italia Hall has the story.
Members of the various school boards were officially sworn in for the 2017 to 2020 term. District Superintendent Yvonne Ward noting that the motto for the new term is rendering service above self. Ward telling the school board members that while they won't receive any monetary benefits, they will find satisfaction in contributing to the smooth operation of public schools in the community.
It is good to know that we still have persons in our community who continue to give unselfishly of their time and energy. to improve our schools and ultimately affect student achievement. Another benefit of having persons like you on our school boards who have served before is the training and mentoring that you can offer our first-time school board members.
The Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Reverend Frederick McAlpine, delivering the charge, urging board members to keep their integrity intact and to avoid conflicts of interest.
You're not here to enrich yourselves, but to supplement the people whom you serve with sound advice, intellectual advancement, and infrastructural improvements.
He says it's important for the board members to impact the lives of parents as well.
School is not a daycare center. It is a learning institution. Remind them that discipline begins at home. Parents have a responsibility to see that their children are appropriately dressed, and manners is paramount in our learning institutions.
Board members were presented with certificates and invited to take the official oath of office. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Fireworks this morning in the Barry and Ashina Johnson murder trial in the Supreme Court as one of the attorneys in the case took a witness to task for his role in the investigation. Italia Hall has that story.
When court resumed shortly after 11 a.m., Kevin Dame's attorney Carlton Sherlin asked witness Sergeant 772 Lorenzo Johnson if he believes that he did his due diligence in the murder investigation, to which Johnson replied yes. Devon Hall's attorney Jethlin Barrows then asked Sergeant Johnson if he asked for Hall's antecedents while interviewing him, and what did it say. Sergeant Johnson said that he did and noted that Hall had not been charged with any criminal offenses. Next to take part in the cross-examination was attorney Jeffrey Farquharson, who's representing Paul Belizaire. Farquharson asked Sergeant Johnson if he is an honest man, and Johnson replied yes. Farquharson then asked Johnson if he physically abused any of the defendants, to which Johnson replied no. Farquharson then asked Johnson if he's aware that if he is found guilty of lying in a murder trial, he is liable to go to prison for life. Johnson said he was unaware of the time given for that offense. Farquharson then asked Sergeant Johnson when did he become a sergeant. Johnson said that he could not remember. Farquharson then asked him what year did he join the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Johnson said the 1st of August 1986. Farquharson then asked Sergeant Johnson if he has been a sergeant for more than 10 years. Johnson replied yes. Farquharson then said to the witness, that means there is no more promotion for you. But Sergeant Johnson countered, saying he does not know what that has to do with the case. The prosecution then raised the issue of relevance. Farquharson then told the witness that all these years he has just been a sergeant because he is dumb and sloppy. Sergeant Johnson then told attorney Farquharson if he addresses him like that again. Farquharson said, and you'll do what? At that point, Justice Estelle Gray Evans intervened and told the attorney and the witness to stop. Farquharson then asked Sergeant Johnson if he carefully took a look at the crime scene, because the smallest piece of evidence can be used to convict the guilty, like fibers, hair, and DNA. Johnson replied yes. Farquharson also asked Johnson if he ever found out the motive for the crime during the investigation, and what did they go to get. Johnson said yes, armed robbery, and your client told me that they went to get money. Attorneys Jethlin Barrows and Carlton Sherlin then objected Farquharson's question and were against him using the term they. Farquharson then said to Sergeant Johnson that it was clear on the basis of the statement that Belizaire's reason for going to the home was to steal money, and he told you that there was no cash there. Now the trial resumes on Thursday morning. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Now, Paul Belizaire, Devon Hall, and Kevin Dames are all accused of killing the Johnsons at their home in Holmes Rock in September 2015, and also of robbing them of their car keys and their GMC truck valued at over $8,000. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition continues in just a moment.